Hi, my name is Cassidy Quistorf. I am the director of Klamath Film, and with me today is the creative team behind Phil Takes Photos. So we have Nash, Jameson, and Lucas. If y'all want to go around and kind of introduce yourself and the role that you played in making this film.
Right. I guess I'll go first. Yeah, I'm Nash. I am the director and editor of Phil Takes Photos. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Lucas. I was the cinematographer for Phil Takes Photos.
And I'm Jameson. I produced Phil Takes Photos and played Hannah Newman.
Okay, awesome, great, very cool, y'all. So what was kind of the creative spark? How did y'all get together and really start to make this film? What was that kind of process like for y'all as kind of newer filmmakers?
I think it kind of just started with feeling really inspired to just kind of make something out of nothing. We all met through class and have made other things together. And I think it was kind of a thing where we just really felt an urge to make something that just had nothing to do with class. This wasn't for an assignment, and just kind of had something that we could just kind of put together and really just do whatever we wanted and just kind of go wild. So that's kind of like was the ethos behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Jameson.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say we also had the intention of doing a one-day shoot, simple idea, single location, and just seeing how much craziness we could fit into that setup. We came up with the idea pretty quickly and shot it all in a day, and learned a lot from that.
Totally. I think it was kind of intended to, or the reason that we made it when we made it, I think, was to kind of coincide with the student the student film festival that was going on at the time, and so we were, just trying to skim by that deadline as a. So that was another motivating. That kind of, I think that as like a time limit kind of helped us kind of make the short as like simple and efficient as it was. Because I know, having worked on other projects with college students, you're kind of always trying to prove yourself. And so maybe you get a bit more ambitious than you might have time for, And so I think having, the film festival, like 2 weeks ahead, the deadline 2 weeks ahead of when we were filming, I think kind of helped us kind of strip this short down to just being very um, straightforward in its communication. Maybe not exactly. It's a bit crazier, but just trying to make it as like simple as possible, just from a logistic standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. And I think it's really important to have deadlines as filmmakers and stuff and kind of setting yourselves to a goal and a place to put this out into the world. So do you guys want to talk a little bit about kind of this role as student filmmakers? We don't have a ton of student filmmakers in our film festival, so it's super exciting to get to highlight this film as well. So what has it been like being student filmmakers and also kind of the film festival that your college puts on?
I guess I think part of Phil Takes Photos was kind of trying to feel and prove to ourselves that we're also just filmmakers too. You know what I mean? Like, and that, I think the three of us specifically kind of, felt a little bit not like uh outcasted, but in our program, but more just like really hungering for kind of, just more and wanting to just kind of like, just do what we want. And So I think that is honestly a big part of it, and kind of why I don't know why this project happened at this time. make something weird, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, and I think tonally it's completely different than a majority of the work coming from our program. So we kind of thought to ourselves, we've met these, awesome people uh, through the program, and how can we, suck all the resources we can out of the college and make completely our own thing. And so it's arguable if this was a student film or just a film by young filmmakers or student filmmakers. And so we definitely wanted to kind of blur that line of, it's a movie. Yeah.
And this may not be the last we see of our protagonist.
Oh, awesome. I love that. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, speaking of the protagonist, Phil, I mean, he's definitely also like this outcast and just this socially awkward person. And then at the end, we kind of see this really raw emotion and everything. So how did y'all come up with Phil's storyline and how did you want to kind of portray that and what people get out of the film? And then also, if you want to allude a little bit more, maybe to some future projects where we might see him again.
Oh, wow. Um, I mean, to be completely honest, um, I think, I don't know. I think, I mean, to be completely real, I mean, like, Phil is technically not even that character's name. Um, Little fun fact, that, I don't know if I want to spoil, but he's credited as the photographer. I'll
Okay.
just say. Um, but to answer your question, I think so. When Jameson and I were kind of coming up with the idea, part of the I think the energy of the movie is just like it's really a movie about like relationships and interact and human interaction. And when you kind of have an awkward, kind of despondent person, uh, kind of forced to interact with hard to interact with people, and like, kind of a weird person in a weird situation. Um, and we kind of wanted to have this arc of it kind of being he's a weirdo interacting with normal people, and then kind of by the end of it, he seems a little bit more normal than the people, and that kind of thing. And so we kind of wanted to play with that. Kind of connection between the audience and the characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Totally. So did you have anything to add, Lucas?
Go,
Oh
Lucas.
well, I I thought the way it was shot, we tried to think about a lot of we tried to come up with like a structure of like I feel like where I'm at in filmmaking is kind of trying to figure out all the tools that I've learned in filmmaking and then trying to apply like an emotional justification for them. And so I thought the only character that we should show any close-ups of are our protagonists, because that's the only character that we need to gain any emotional closeness to. And also, if we don't have any close-ups of any other characters, then you feel the protagonist distant from them. So, I mean, you don't even really ever see, um, you don't often see Phil in the same shot as any of the subjects, and so that was very intentional to try to keep them
Oh, wow.
very separate. There's you only see you don't really get like any shots, big shots from. I thought it'd be good to not really show. Um, there's like in our minds when we were shooting it, there was like a line like in front of the camera, between Phil and the subject and the studio backdrop they were on, and we very purposely wanted to keep that line was a very specific emotional moment, and we chose the gorilla suit scene um, to be the big kind of moment where we cross that line and have Phil kind of enter that big space because that's the big moment. Because after the gorilla walks off, then Phil kind of enters that new space and inhabits it, and then we kind of break that structure by uh, having because you before you only really see that photos. What is it called? The backdrop. You guys had a name for it?
The white psych. This is a
The
projection.
psych. Yeah, the psych. Um, you only really ever saw that from the perspective of the camera, but we decided to we shot an angle of Phil's speech from the perspective of the camera, like all the other subjects, and then we shot it also in like a medium close up. And I think, I mean, to give credit to the editing, they basically only used that close up, which I think is a very savvy way of kind of changing the meaning of that space. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it, but yeah.
Absolutely. That's so interesting. I love all these creative decisions that really like went behind and just the attention to detail in such a short film too, which is just very, very cool. And it's giving me a whole new perspective on kind of these decisions where intentionally breaking that structure and everything like that. So that's really neat. And I'm excited for another rewatch of it and really kind of pick up on all of that. But yeah, so kind of as one of the ending question here, but I'm curious about kind of each of y'all's background and what you were interested to go into a filmmaking program, and then also kind of what you hope to do in the future with your films.
Yeah, I am mostly interested in writing and directing, and I want to continue with that. And I also am really interested in documentary and kind of want to continue working in that and narrative shorts and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of my jam.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm really interested in the art department, production design, art direction, set and props construction, all of that. Um, really in love with documentary, and obviously directing whenever I have a chance. Writing and directing is always a blast. But as for my future, I'm actually in Kentucky right now for a film I'll be working on. So
Okay.
good things are on the horizon. But
That's awesome.
yeah, just excited for all to come.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, I kind of got into. I've always been obsessed with movies as a small child, whatever. But I kind of like I started out actually applying myself to photography, and so I got into street photography. I did portraits with my friends, and through that, I kind of got more experience with that type of visual storytelling. I think I have a hard time sitting down and actually writing, and so um, photography was a great way in for me to then kind of transition over into helping other people shoot their shorts and their projects. And so I was going to SOU last year to help other people and to kind of get an experience, working in a more professional environment. Because before, it's just kind of been like me, two other people, and it just kind of everything gets thrown together in a couple of days, and it's really fun. And working in that kind of crew environment at school was really fun, and I learned a lot about working. Um, that level of collaboration where everyone has a lot of like very specific skills and departments. And so now I'm just taking what I learned from college and I'm, going to try to apply it to whatever my whims kind of tell me to. I'm working on a couple of documentary projects and I'm, continuing to do photography and just kind of going where the wind takes me at the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, I love it. Well, kudos and congrats and exciting for all of y'all. And It's always so exciting just to meet different types of filmmakers and what they're interested in and everything like that, and that's kind of the beauty of film festivals and coming together and, kinda getting to collaborate. So, was there anything else that y'all wanted to add about, Phil Takes Photos or the future of the photographer in the movie?
I don't know. Thanks to everybody who watched it. I hope it made you laugh and cry and cringe and all that. And we'll see about what the future of the photographer and his little puppet friend might be. But I don't want to give too much away. But
Awesome, great. Well, thank you all so much for being a part of the 11th Annual Klamath Independent Film Festival. We so appreciate it and so appreciate all of your hard work.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.